Alright, so we're back now, and obviously we can't make a big move on him, because it's not that game, as they state.
It's a dating game.
Yeah, but not all dating sims lead to, like, sex or whatever.
Well, making a big move doesn't mean you're having sex. You could have just, like, leaned in to kiss him or something.
True. So, tell him that we're cold, or tell the truth?
Tell the truth.
Yeah, I think telling the truth. You confess. Oh, he liked that! I think I've developed feelings for you, Colonel. I might be developing feelings for you, too. But I'm concerned. I can't let anything get in the way of my dreams.
Don't do that to us.
No, don't crush your dreams.
Don't crush our dreams.
We can have that dream together. Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and run for the front door. But the thought of leaving Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel? Yes, Toph? I honestly think this may be the beginning of something wonderful. I think you're right. We should take things slow. You talk late into the night and drift off into slumber. Dream sequence! Hell yeah, bitches! Woo! You wake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell!
Oh, no.
I mean, technically we're on the 3rd day.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah. Today is the day that could change the rest of your life. You think about the new secret ingredient you learned about. Blank.
Empty phone charger.
In some jurisdictions, blank isn't even legal. But if the recipe is a secret, then how will they know? Because they won't.
Is it marijuana? Is that why it's so long?
Marijuana.
Marijuana. Some fun marijuana.
Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a glorious plate of breakfast.
Gorgeously
plate of breakfast. That's why you're here. That's why you're here. Be sure that you're close to the mic, too. Sorry about that.
Close to the mic.
Your mouth waters at the sight of it.
Oh.
Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up. Oh. This is like a breakfast that you love.
Yes.
It's meltalicious.
That chicken.
You taste Colonel Sanders' food, and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask an important question. Yes, we will marry you! So, would you say that we're the perfect match? How presumptuous! Oh. My cuisine and your cuisine and your taste buds, that is. Oh, such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? Flatter him. Oh, he loves it.
He loves it.
You know, I think we might make a great team. A single tear begins to flow in his corner of his eye as he gazes out the window. And with the right business partner, I know I cannot fail.
Is he gonna ask us to marry him?
Business partner? Could he be talking about... This is all happening too quickly!
Very quickly!
Oh! Colonel Sanders! Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears, unable to speak. The only answer you find is to run out the door and get home. There's still one more day of school after all. The University of Cooking School, Academy of Learning, waits for no one. You get home and find something very surprising. Your best friend is waiting for you.
Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night!
Oh, did you?
I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something had happened to you.
It's okay. I was just...
But now that it turns out you're fine, I can finally get up to speed on the saga of Miriam.
Sure, but...
You will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date!
I think I can believe that.
Since I've been partnered with Clink, he asked me to go out on a date with him. Of course I told him, you better keep your dials turned to polite and respectful. I'm not that kind of girl.
But turns out I am.
But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me. So I said, yeah, sure. I can get to know the little metallic guy. Long story short, he took me Skype skydiving with his friends, but things quickly spiraled out of control.
Like the plane? Did she just say skydiving? As if that's a typical first date to go on with a talking pressure cooker.
Now I'm not really sure where we stand.
I don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story, however. Bottling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear. And I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' house, where I spent the night with him.
You what?
Nothing happened, because the game wouldn't let it.
The game wouldn't allow us
But
to.
the emotional connection.
We certainly tried.
Wowzers. When Miriam tells you to move on from the whole Colonel Sanders obsession and focus on school. It being obsessed with Colonel Sanders is wrong. Then I don't want to be wrong.
I just realized this is the perfect game for Cartman.
Yes, Colonel Sanders, eh? I have been thinking of those episodes of South Park, actually. After a short argument, you both agreed to go your separate ways.
Aww.
What? No.
Wait, why did we even fight?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why did she say it was an obsession? It's not like we snuck over to his house.
I don't know. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You can tell from a distance that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact, because, you know, he's Pop. What's a swirly? That sounds delicious.
Oh, it's great. I'll order you up one right away.
I'll have my swirly with Sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is a dog and a treat. You can get your swirly dipped too. Why don't you pick on someone your own size?
Because I'm literally the biggest person at this school.
Oh, well, I guess sucks to be you. There is that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school. But who would dare pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature? I mean, look at me, I'm crying. Ooh.
You've got some nerd talk suggesting I pick on a defenseless horse.
Now you're twisting my words, and I won't have it. You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident makes you wince in pain.
It doesn't look like you can go on cooking like that. Might as well just give up.
Never! Never! Colonel Sanders arrives just as it appears things are close to boiling over. A natural, intuitive person, he senses that something has been going on. Is everyone excited for the final day of school? Toph, how's that hand feeling? I'm sure you'll be back in fighting form by this afternoon. Aren't you concerned with my hands, Colonel? Yesterday I almost broke a nail winning so hard. Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided. But your presentation was quite impressive. What is he doing complimenting her? I mean, there's nothing wrong with complimenting a dish that was well made.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. Don't be jealous, Toph.
That person. How dare you talk to other women?
But what about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce? It was clear that you're passionate about your food is received. That's a lot of that's a lot of words to say it was bland. Excuse me, Toph. I am more than capable of enough to speak for myself.
Oh,
Maybe you can tell me more of your thoughts as we walk to class, Colonel. I'm always interested in discussing the fine art of fine foods. See you inside, Toph. Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashla for who she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by the interaction with Ashla, you take out the spell book you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Oh, it's
wow, that's that book! It looks like bad news!
I'm just seeing... it's just something I found lying around. it would appear to be some sort of grimoire, but I don't really believe in that magic stuff.
A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it weren't really powerful?
I can think of one surefire way to find out. You open the page covered in arcane warnings. Cast only in case of extreme emergency.
Oh,
It says around the edges of the page. I could use this spell here that says it will erase anyone I choose from all my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam.
That is way drastic. Couldn't you do something else, like anything else? Not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger?
Okay, fine. It is dramatic, but
Drastic.
desperate times call for desperate measures. You've got a memory erasing spell sitting in front of you, and you're pretty good, and a pretty good excuse to try it out.
No!
No!
No, not at all!
I mean, Spork Monster told us not to dabble in dark magic!
Yeah!
Heck no, we're not gonna do that! Take your friend's advice and put the book away.
Why would
It's
we
almost time
forget
for
our
class.
beloved Colonel
Yeah,
Sanders?
no, I would never want to do that.
No!
Sprinkles is already in the room, waiting for the students
Life
to
without
arrive.
Colonel Sanders is no life at all.
No. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement.
I want you all to know I feel something of a dark moment coming on, but I assure you it's nothing to be afraid of.
That's a dog moment. His cute little nose scrunches up and he begins to breathe quickly. Is he hungry?
Wait to see what he does.
Wait to see what happens.
Oh, he
Sprinkles
sees a
stops and
squirrel.
attention focuses on the window. The room is deadly silent. You follow his gaze and see a tiny orange squirrel perched on a cherry tree outside. I'm going to dance for the squirrel!
Give me your power, squirrel!
Sprinkle turns feral and runs to the window of the class and begins barking uncontrollably at the squirrel inside.
Terrence! I told you never to come back here! Terrence! I will destroy you! Terrence!
Terrence, best character. Sprinkles barks furiously, drool flying off of his face. The squirrel looks over, but he doesn't say anything back. You wonder, is that even a talking squirrel? Who named him Terrence?
You better not throw your chubby cheeks around here ever again!
After Sprinkles is
Sprinkles is the best
satisfied
character.
that his resistance has been felt by not only Terrence, but any other squirrel in hearing distance, he returns to his professional tone.
I apologize for that outburst. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Tough, for reminding me to duel out this indispensable bit of wisdom. You see...
But before he can go any further, Miriam's love drama
no.
spills over into the class. Okay.
I told you to save it for after class! You think I wanted to be thrown from a plane strapped to a stranger?
Miriam and Clank appear to be arguing, but you still haven't learned
Oh, poor
to speak
Clank.
Clank's language of mechanical noises. Wah.
But no, you had to show off to your cool kid friend Jeff and Jonah. J and J forever. Watch us form a triangle in mid-air as we descend. Triangles aren't the strongest shape, don't you know? Yeah, well, that doesn't make it a great date. Then take Jeff and Jonah with you. You can all hold hands as you paddle down the mountain or off a cliff for all I care.
Aww. Sad beep. Clank begins to shudder. Steam pours out of the gaps in his panel, and then a loud ding stops him in his tracks.
Did he just commit suicide? No amount of seasoning is going to make me want to eat that, Clank.
Aww. Clank burps out a completely deep-fried sneaker. Considering that he himself has wheels, not feet, it's not entirely clear where it came from. In terms of deep-fried footwear, I guess it looks okay. Clank slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with his shoe. Everyone tries to pretend like they didn't see that bad thing happen. I feel bad for
I
Clank.
feel so bad for him. Miriam, you suck. I don't like you.
Nothing like a loud, public breakup to cast a pal over the final day of school.
Well, that was unfortunate. But we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition, showdown challenge, exam! TM exclamation point! Oh, sorry, my voice is starting to get to me. I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches. See you all in the arena.
Alrighty, but before you can think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby that in need of a pep talk. Hey, Miriam, are you okay?
Okay, I'm so mad I can smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor.
Why would you do that?
How could he embarrass me in class like that, in front of everyone?
Well, you embarrassed him too.
Well, this is about me, not him.
Her tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure. So, you know that this breakup is no joke, even if the source of her frustration is such a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm gonna say it out loud. You don't need anyone. You, me and you, we're gonna cruise through this final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way.
You're not going to saddle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me?
Of course not. Well, maybe sort of. But I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it, and a ranch big enough for both of us, and whoever else we want to bring along. If it's not Pop or Clank or anyone else you meet today, tomorrow, for the whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little interest anyhow. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks.
I should really review my menu for today. I'm going to make a very special soup.
And I bet that Professor Dog is gonna love it up. While you were prep talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch, but that's okay, because you have a better idea on how to spend the time before your exam. You decided to head to the arena early to practice a dish. Alrighty. Oh, we're gonna practice a dish next time on Oneplayer Co-op!
Next time!
Next time! See you later, everybody!